the individuals that you see on the stage have either attended an HBCU, historically black college or university, or they are part of the Divine Nine, a black fraternity or sorority.
Good afternoon, scholars. My name is Rachel Jackson, and I attended Clark Atlanta University, which is an HBCU located in Atlanta, Georgia.
And what do you do, your career path?
I am a licensed real estate agent. I work throughout Long Island as well as Queens.
Good afternoon, scholars. You look wonderful today. My name is Denise Leary, and I'm here representing my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta sorority. And I attended Utica College of Syracuse University. And I used to be a teacher. I am now a retired teacher.
Good afternoon, scholars. My name is Robinson Chaperone. I am representing Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I attended St. John's University. And currently I am a law enforcement officer within the Department of Justice.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. My name is Alfred Taylor. I attended SUNY College at Old Westbury. I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and I am a sanitation supervisor for Sanitation District Number 2, where I've been employed for the past 27 years, and I'm the first African American supervisor to ever hold my position. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nkenji W. Gilliam. I graduated from SUNY Stony Brook cum laude, and I am a lifelong educator, co-founder of my own 501c3, DeWitt Gilliam Enrichment Foundation Incorporated, and I am a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I hope to be a retired educator in 5 years. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Thompson. I represent Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Our chapter, actually Eta Theta Lambda chapter, is seated here in Wyandanch. I actually live here in Wyandanch, not too far from here, a few blocks away. I work for Xerox, and I was initiated into the fraternity at West Virginia University in the spring of 1990, and I'm glad to be with you here today.
Good afternoon. My name is Alicia Tutt. I am a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I became a member at Charleston Southern University in Charleston, South Carolina in the spring of 1991. I am a retired probation officer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amber D. Coiner, CPA. I am a licensed certified public accountant, and I'm here representing Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I serve the sorority as its 15th New York State Director.
Hello, scholars. I am Ms. Crystal Gooden. I am a teacher. I am a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated for the last 14 years. I love you all. I love you all, just know that. I have been teaching for the last 14 years, and I'm glad to be here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, young scholars. It is a pleasure to be here before you. My name is Sidney Joyner. The university that I attended was Virginia Union University, which is located in Richmond, Virginia, a historically black college. I am a proud, very proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. As my dear brother here mentioned, we are seated here on Long Island, and my trade or my profession is currently been for a number of years right now, as an affordable housing developer who is doing some work on the Long Island sector, and again, it's a pleasure to be here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. My name is Alan Joseph, and I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. As my brother said, we're here in Long Island. We do a lot of programs in Long Island, scholarships for kids, food insecurity, etc., as many of the organizations up here do. My profession is I am an engineer, a software engineer, and the last company that I worked for is Major League Baseball.
For me, it was important to attend a HBCU because it was important for me to be immersed in my culture and to attend schooling with people that looked like me, professors that looked like me. I wanted to get more educated learning about African Americans. They were created because as African Americans, we didn't have access to the same type of quality education that, other people or other cultures and ethnicities, had access to. So they were created for us, by us, and that was important for me.
Just make sure you speak into the mic just a little, because if you point it this way, it's a little bit better to hear you.
Yes, ma'am. So I attended and graduated from Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. The purpose for me, not only did I want to go to a HBCU where I could be around like-minded individuals who look like me, I chose Johnson C. Smith University because I didn't want to be just a number. I wanted them to know who I was. I wanted to be invested in me, as well as make sure that I was going to complete my journey. A lot of schools, we have to remember that we sometimes get lost. I didn't want that for myself. I wanted my education to matter to me as well as them.
And I will add, as I mentioned, okay.
This mic's a little bit stronger for you.
Hello, is this one working?
Yeah, he can turn it up a little bit more.
All right. I attended Virginia Union University, which is located in Richmond, Virginia, and the reasons are a multitude of reasons why I attended. Understanding what the university was, and also having a sister down the street helped out as well. And then there were a couple of famous people that I thought were pretty cool who played basketball. I grew up playing basketball, and Charles Oakley went there, Benoit. There was a number of individuals who actually attended the school, which opened my eyes to it. Academically, attending that school, I met some of the greatest teachers I've ever known in that school environment. And it is truly something to see when teachers pour into you from day one and let you know how much they care about you, how much they want to see you succeed. So that was the impetus for me going to a HBCU, and I recommend it to young people. And I also want to do a selfless plug for Alpha Phi Alpha, who hosts. We just hosted our 40-year anniversary collegiate HBCU college tour that's done annually. And it provides access to all youth across New York State in terms of attending and getting exposure to to historically black colleges, and with some getting scholarship offers on the day of their attending. So just wanted to put that in there, and to hopefully have you with open minds look at historically black colleges as you come to know them as what they are now.
HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities. We also have another term for predominantly white colleges and universities. We call them PWIs. I went to 2 PWIs. The first one was University of Detroit Mercy, and the other one was for my master's at Columbia University here in New York. Why I chose to go to the University of Detroit Mercy was I wanted to study architecture. And all the schools that I had gotten accepted to were close to home. So I was 18 and I said, no, I don't want to be close to home. I don't want to be in my parents' house anymore. I want to go as far away as possible. They gave me a scholarship, and they were ranked, I think, number 7 in the nation for architecture, which I started to study but changed my majors. So you have a choice.
I went to SUNY or Westbury, which is in Westbury. And to be honest with you, when I was in high school, I was kind of a jerk. And my parents did not think I was ready to go away to college. So when it came time for me to go to college, they said, oh, no, you're going to stay close to home so we can watch you. So I ended up going to Old Westbury. But the reality of it is, when I got there, I realized at that time that my parents were smarter than I thought because they were right. I wasn't ready. So I ended up having to leave school, get kicked out, and then end up, when I got older, going back because I never lost sight of wanting my education. So when I went back to school, I was around 28, 29, and I had a different mindset to go back and finish what I started. And when I left SUNY or Westbury the first time, I did not have good grades. By the time I went back to school as an adult, I got straight A's and made the dean's list every year because I found something I wanted to do. So understand that the journey is about the journey. You might not always get there when you want to get there, but never ever stop striving, because at some point in time, when a reality hits you and you say, this is something that I want to do for yourself, you will accomplish that goal. So that's what led me to go back to Old Westbury, finish, and actually look back on it and say I actually got something out of it. And make sure that whatever you decide to do, whatever college you decide to go to, just make sure you follow a path. Don't let anybody get in your way. Because sometimes life will life. But don't ever be afraid to continue your journey and do what you set out to do, which is finish it.
So I went to SUNY Stony Brook. My auntie graduated from North Carolina A&T, and she really was a great influence on me. And even though I went to SUNY Stony Brook, she would have preferred if I went to North Carolina A&T, but because of the model that she provided and reminded me that education was the pathway to the upper middle class, when I went to SUNY Stony Brook, I had a great experience. So yes, I regret going to SUNY Stony Brook, but I had a great education. And when it was time for my son to apply for college, I made it very, very clear to him that I wanted him to apply to HBCUs, which he did. He applied to Morehouse, he applied to Howard University, and the only reason why he went to the University of Alabama is because they gave him a full ride. Now, if Howard or if Morehouse gave my son a full ride, I would have sent him there. So I want to just piggyback on what Mr. Taylor said. When you shop for your schools, make sure you establish a great transcript so that colleges want you. But for me, it was all about the finances. So you go where you can get the most money. That's the best gift for your parents. Go to a college that gives you that scholarship money. Okay, so PWI HBCUs are a great experience, but do what you need to do as a middle schooler, as a high schooler, so that colleges offer you scholarships.
So I heard the term SUNY thrown out a few times. SUNY stands for State University of New York. They have SUNY schools here in Long Island. They also have SUNY schools all the way upstate as far as Binghamton University, which is so close as like practically Vermont. I went to a CUNY school, which stands for CUNY, the City University of New York, because I grew up in Queens. And my parents chose, I was the first person in my entire family, I'm the youngest of 5 kids, that went to college. And going to a CUNY school provided scholarships from the city because I had good grades. So you can also get scholarships or partial reductions of your tuition if you just maintain a good scholarly average. My school, I went to Baruch College, and because I'm a CPA, there are so many accounting companies that have headquarters in New York City. I was able to get internships with some of those schools because of my teachers knowing those partners at those schools.
So I just want to make something clear. You know, you guys are in middle school right now and everything, and when you go to high school, your parents will probably choose your high school as well. You'll have some say. But when you go to college, you are the person that generally chooses the school that you're going to. So think anywhere in the nation, if it's an HBCU, if it's a PWI, you can choose where you want to go, what you want to study. When you get up to the college level, it's about you making the best choice for you. And this is what everyone on this panel has just said.
Thank you. So now I want to move on to the reason why some of you chose to be a part of your different organizations. So as the students had learned yesterday that there are 9 divine fraternities and sororities that were founded, again, as we explained, I'll let some of the panelists explain a little bit more, for certain reasons as well as HBCUs. And so if you can go into why these fraternities and sororities were originally founded, and give them a little bit about that history. They learned about it like as well, but from your perspective, if anyone wants to answer that.
So I'll start it off, and then I'm going to ask Denise to pick up from there, because she's already got it prepared. But just to let you know, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was the first African-American fraternity or sorority founded. And so we're pretty much the pioneers. So they have us to thank for being here. But the reason that I joined Alpha, it's funny because I applied to different schools, different colleges, and I got accepted to a few HBCUs. But the only thing is, I didn't know they were HBCUs. I had no idea what a HBCU was. And I had my sights on what he was talking about, the PWI schools, because those were the ones that were in the forefront. They were talking a lot about them. So I wanted to do 2 things when I went to school at West Virginia University. I wanted to play football for the football team, and I wanted to join Alpha. And the reason I wanted to join Alpha was because 3 years before that, I had met some Alphas who were really influential in my life. So I saw what they were doing, and I said, I want to be like that. And then when I went to different schools, I saw the Alphas at those different schools, because we have chapters at different schools. And I said, they're pretty much the same. They're made from the same fiber. I see me in them, and I see them in me. So that's why I wanted to join Alpha. So spoiler alert, I went to West Virginia. I didn't join the team, but I did get Alpha. So that's one of the reasons that I joined Alpha, just for the heritage, for the legacy of it. One of the most well-known Alphas is Dr. Martin Luther King. Does everybody know who Dr. Martin Luther King is? See that? So that's one of the reasons that I joined Alpha.
We join our organizations because you need to find your tribe, and that means, who are your friends? Now, if you, I see some of you already looking left and right. One of the reasons why we join these organizations is because when we go to college, just like you've come to school, when we go to college, we meet people and we find out who likes us and we become friends with them. And if they happen to be in a sorority, then we consider joining that club. Now, I'm using the word club with you because that word is more familiar with you. We are so much more than just a club, but I want you to understand something. As it was said here, when you go to a college that had never wanted you, maybe because of the color of your skin, but all of a sudden you find many kids there that are just like you want to stick with the children, you want to stick with your friends who you like the most. And that's what happens when you go to any college. We were created during a time when they would not allow some black students to attend their schools. And so black people created their own schools, right? Black educators, parents, business people, inventors. And once we created our own schools, we said, well, how come we can't have our own organizations too, right? So we created our own organizations, and we are all a legacy. We are all part of organizations that were founded over 100 years ago. And we are still here today. Even you and your parents are part of a legacy because they decided to put you in a charter school. Charter schools are new. And your parents said, well, you know what? I want to give my child a different type of chance, a different type of education where I know they will be disciplined. And if you get in trouble, you will learn how to do better. And so you are all in a school right now that is going to give you a better education, a good education, and put you on the path to success. So, how many of you have a best friend? How many of you have a best friend that's not in this school? See that? And that's okay. How many of you have a best friend that's in this school? All right, hands down. So you stick with that person as long as they are keeping you on the proper path. And when you decide to go to high school, you stick with those friends. And when you decide to go to college, which is one of the reasons why I went to College of Syracuse University, is I met kids there that were kind and friendly. And I met some professors who also treated me properly when I visited with them. So that's the reason why I made my decision. But always remember, being a black student of African descent, being a student of Hispanic descent, always go where you are wanted. Never go where nobody doesn't want you. Do you understand that? And there are plenty of high schools and there are plenty of colleges out there that will accept you for who you are and for the academic skills that you have. You got that, everybody? So that's why we join our organizations, because they love us for who we are.
Each one of these has a different personality. As Denise said, she found a group of people who she associated with. Just like you have friends who, you may be friends with Jamal or John or Lisa or Jose or whoever, right? You're going to find these different organizations have different personalities. You need to make sure that their personality fits with your personality, what you're about, what you've been taught, what your family is all about. So.
Fraternities and sororities are not new to America nor the planet. But what was so different about what we were trying to achieve, it was started for people of African American descent, color, backgrounds, to have solidarity in their studies so that they could not only finish school, but form a union that would last into the foreseeable future. And so our fraternity started as a literary society, as a study club that transformed into the founding of a fraternity. And this is the nucleus of how they came together in environments that were not, I wouldn't say hostile, or they could be said as being hostile, but they weren't the best environment to support them. And they saw that unique opportunity to say, we must come together and form a union that works for us. And that is a form of fraternity and how Alpha Phi Alpha was started.
on a cold, gloomy night on January 5th, 1911, in Bloomington, Indiana, a predominantly white institution that was less than a mile away from the headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan, formulated a group called Kappa Alpha Nu. This was a group of men, 10 black men, who formulated this fraternity as a means of survival during a time where we were being lynched and killed just outside of the gates of our college. 4 years later, due to a bunch of racial apathy, yes, we changed our name to Kappa Alpha Psi as a sign of togetherness. We were founded amongst some of the worst turmoil during a time where we were basically less than 1% of the population of where we were. I chose this organization because when doing research on what organization to join, I looked at the basic principles of this fraternity and said that these are the same principles that I live my life by. So therefore, I want to make sure that I always represent the forefathers that had the wherewithal to represent me at a time where we just simply barely existed in this country. So that's why I became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we're giving historical references here, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on the campus of Howard University, but we weren't the first sorority to be founded there. That was Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, followed by Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. When Zeta Phi Beta Sorority was just an idea, it was actually a brother of Phi Beta Sigma who approached his then girlfriend about creating another sorority on the campus that would function as sisters to the brother fraternity. And so Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, I became a member for lots of different reasons, but when I look at one of the most impactful reasons, Zeta Phi Beta, we focus a lot of our community service initiatives on women and young girls, but when we partner with our brothers of Phi Beta fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, then we can impact more than just girls. We can also impact men, we can impact boys, we can impact the future of the world.
Before we continue, I just wanted to introduce Ms. Booth because she is also on the panel. So Mr. Booth, you can introduce yourself. She should be a familiar face to you all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, I'm a second grade teacher here up at the Academy. I see most of you every day. Surprise. I am also a member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. I pledged way back in 1996 at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And surprise, I'm happy I made it back.
I wanted to give them a history to the call, why it's done, and have a demonstration.
Oh, so before we talk about the call, just understand, unless you're a member of that organization, you can't do that call. The hand signals that you may see us throw up, you can't do those if you are not a member of the organization. The attire that we wear, you cannot wear it unless you are a member of the organization, because it's very serious to the members of the organization, but it's something for you to aspire to. But it's just that you can't wear it before your time, before you actually become a member of those organizations. So what I can speak to is Alpha Phi Alpha. I'll call, it goes A Phi, because we have A is our first letter. Phi is that circle with the line through it. So our call is A Phi, and then we have a response where the other brothers say 06. And 06 is for the year that we were founded, 1906. So I'll have these brothers demonstrate for me because I have more than one with me.
8506.
And that's what it would sound like when we do our call. It's a call and response. So it would be one brother would say A5, and then any of the other brothers in the room would in unison say 06.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, we have our call. It is trademarked, and my vocal cords are damaged. But wouldn't you like Miss Boyd to model it for you? I can't do it, so Miss Boyd and Miss Braxton is also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Where is she?
She's upstairs.
Okay,
The class.
so you have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Can you do it, please?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Right?
How you doing? Our call sign is just simple and plain. Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo! And followed by Kappa Alpha sign. And I'll stop right there.
Phi Beta Sigma, call sign is
Blue fire!
and the response is
You know!
that's our call sign.
I said, my sorors, you looking good today. That is one of our calls. And as we are constitutionally bound to our brother fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, you heard after he did his call, we said our call, which is Iaki. Cannot tell you what it means, but it's something that we all do when we step into the party. Yucky! And then we also say, so sweet. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I would just want to say how small the organization is. So Ms. Booth is actually the teacher for my son and my niece. So I meet with Ms. Booth frequently. I met with her 2 days ago and didn't even know that we were part of the same organization. So that's how wide and how vast the organization is. You'll run into people that you didn't even know are part of it, but we are growing, we are expanding, and we would like for that to keep going.
And can I just add to that? I want to add to that because it's not a national organization. All of our organizations are international. I know that both the Zetas and the AKAs have chapters in Dubai, and we have chapters in London, Africa, the continent of Africa, Germany. I don't know where you guys are. Where are you? Germany, we're all over the world. So if China, so if we go out of the country, if we need assistance, we can simply just say in our different social media groups, I have an issue. I'm in Beijing. Is there a soror in Beijing? And within 15 minutes, someone will find you on WhatsApp and let you know. So my son is in Alabama, which is 1,100 miles away. And at first I was concerned about being 1,100 miles away from me. He's my only child. But the graduate chapter there and the undergraduate chapter on the campus, they know that his mother is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and they take care of my son. So it's a network that's international, if that makes any sense.
Anybody want to answer when the first HBCU was started?
I believe 19th century, And after the Civil War, there was the Second Morrill Land Grant Act, and state governments were given grants to build universities. And so most of them are in southern states, and they were designed to provide education for people of African descent. So around the 19th century, I believe Cheney, or is it Lincoln the first one? Cheney is the first one. Oh, that's before the Civil War. But, you know, state governments were given land grants. Cornell University, that's where Alpha Phi Alpha was founded, and I believe Cornell was given a land grant from the federal government.
We have scholarships that we give out to deserving students of over $100,000. Now, these are top-tier young women, but it takes care of them when they are in school, and we maintain relationships with our children. And we also have opportunities for people who have gotten in trouble. We offer a lot of help to those people as well.
How are the Divine Nines different, was his question. Maybe a simplest answer that you can.
Okay, so the simplest answer is we really aren't. So if you know, do you know who the Avengers are? So everybody knows the Avengers are made up of many different superheroes, but they come together to form the Avengers. We're the Avengers. We are the Avengers.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
We were created at Indiana University. There were 10 young men. Elder Watson Diggs was the dreamer. He was the first person. When he came to college, he met another founder by the name of Irving Armstrong, in which at that time, Elder Watson Diggs, who was a little bit older than the other guys there, had lost his wife. His wife had passed away. So while he was at the gravesite, his other founder, Irvin Armstrong, had a gold pocket watch. And that gold pocket watch was worth money. So he took that pocket watch and gave it to Elder Watson Diggs and told him, take this, sell this, and use the money in order to charter the first Alpha chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, which was formulated on January 5th, 1911, as Kappa Alpha Nu. April 15th, 1915, we chartered and incorporated under the name Kappa Alpha Psi.
I would implore you to Google all of our organizations. After doing the research, I found that the principles of scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood resonated with me the most. And that is Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Those are our principles. So that's when I realized I am going to pursue membership. And I became a member in the spring of 1991 on the campus of Charleston Southern University. But for all of you, if you do not pursue membership as an undergraduate student, there are opportunities for you to pursue membership after graduation, which is the beauty of all of our organizations. And for all of our organizations, membership is for a lifetime. So many of us became members many years ago, but we continue our service because it is a part of who we are.
Yep.
Just to piggyback off of what Alicia said, I actually became a member after I graduated college. I was interested, but at the time that I was learned about the sorority, I was already starting my senior year, and I wanted to focus on my academics, and I joined my sorority after college. And what I love about the Avengers up here is that we don't just join our organizations in college and do community service and stroll and step. We also look at keeping active membership, and we still go to monthly chapter meetings. We go to international conferences. We partner with, organizations like Google and, JP Morgan Chase to give scholarships and to put money into the communities, but we still stay active after we graduate, and that's really one big difference between the Divine Nine and other organizations that you might join in school.
Good. One last comment at the end.
I just wanted to say that, we've talked about a lot of things here today, giving back to the community, scholarship, and everything of that nature. But we also like to party. We like to have a good time. Everyone here, right, has some sort of social aspect to their organization. So whether it's within the whole fraternity or sorority or chapter or just a couple of members, people will go on vacation together, they'll go out to eat, they'll watch a game, the Super Bowl, they'll do different things. And that is brotherhood and that's sisterhood.
And if I could just say, does anybody know who Arthur Ashe is? Arthur Ashe was the first black man to win Wimbledon. And when Arthur Ashe, tennis, he was the first black man to win Wimbledon, which is a major tennis event. And when Arthur Ashe got sick, he was on his deathbed, and he was about to die. And the newspaper had an article that was written for him after his death. And in the picture, he was laying in the bed, and he went like this. And the name of the article said, Arthur Ashe gives the okay sign to die. No. With his last breath, he did this, which is the sign for Kappa Alpha Psi. Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo. So that was one of the things that motivated me to say, how great is this fraternity when one of the most powerful people, right before he died, gave one last yo to the world.